A scene that is all too familiar in Gaza as Israel attacks deeper into central and southern areas. But there's a new threat on the ground. The WHO confirms a 10-month-old baby in Deir al-Balah is now paralyzed due to polio. The first case in more than 25 years, with more feared possible.
As a mother, I am afraid for my son that he will not receive vaccinations. Vaccination is necessary for children. If he does not take this vaccination, he may contract polio or any other disease. The simplest thing a young child needs is vaccination. With the spread of sewage and garbage, all of these things affect us and the children.
The UN says vaccinations for polio are to begin at the end of the month, but delivering vaccines seems next to impossible with the constant onslaught. In a matter of hours on Friday, at least a dozen Palestinians were killed by Israeli airstrikes in Khan Yunis and Deir al-Balah.
The house was blown up, and everyone inside, children, men, women, flew out, as if the house had never been built without a roof. It's as if it never existed.
There are trucks loaded with bodies from Israeli airstrikes just a day earlier in the Maghazi and Nuseirat refugee camps. Almost 4 days after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken left the region without a ceasefire agreement, there are efforts resuming Friday in Cairo to salvage a deal. But it goes unnoticed by families struggling to find clean water and food. The UN says Israel's evacuation orders, a dozen of them in August alone, have repeatedly displaced about 90% of Gaza's residents.
There's nowhere left to go in what is now 11% of Gaza. That is the area in which the people have been pushed to. Around us, there continue to be explosions, airstrikes.
Without a ceasefire, the threat of disease grows, and the killing from attacks and airstrikes will continue. Craig Boswell, TRT World.